Should it be mandatory to be an organ donor? It's easy to ignore something that doesn't personally affect you. However, organ donations affect millions nationwide. Let's look at the facts. Right now, there are over 116,000 men, women, and children on the national transplant list. Every 10 seconds, someone else is added. That is over 116,000 husbands, wives, children, parents, and friends. Imagine if it were yours. Meet Kalijah. Kalijah was only an infant when her life depended on receiving a liver donation. At 5 months old, a match was found and Kalijah was able to live. On the other side, this is Garrett's story. His life was taken suddenly after his 10th birthday. His family made the important decision to donate his organs. Garrett's organs saved 6 lives, and many more were saved through tissue donations. While this was a tragic time for Garrett's family, it brought them comfort seeing the difference that was made in the lives of others. 95% of people support organ donation. So why is it that only 54% of people are registered donors? Here's why organ donations should be mandatory.
As of August 2017, over 116,000 men, women, and children are on the national transplant list, but only 33,000 transplants were performed. 20 people die each day waiting for these transplants. This is the current situation we face. There's a huge organ deficit. Only 28.97% of requests are fulfilled because of the inability of the organ procurement system to tap more efficiently into the potential supply of organs from deceased individuals who are medically suitable for donation. If organ donations were made mandatory and facilitated by the government, the process could be far more efficient. The government could keep more accurate records of potential donors and expedite the organ procurement process, increasing the number of transplants performed. If everyone was a registered donor, the supply of organs medically suitable for donation would be much higher. With government intervention expediting the process and higher supply, the overall cost of transplants could substantially decrease, benefiting many people.
There are 3 different ways you could become an organ donor. One is replying yes when you are applying or renewing your driver's license. Another way is to register with your state's organ donor registry. Finally, if you have one, you can just sign a donor card. When deciding whether or not you want to become an organ donor, the process should never be a factor as it is an easy and straightforward one. While organ donation is encouraged, the decision on becoming one is completely up to you. However, imagine a situation where you or a family member is in need of a donation. Is it really fair to ask for an organ when you opted to not be a donor yourself? Whether you think it is fair or not, in the end, you are not going to need your organs when you are no longer alive, so why not let them go to a good cause if possible?
Some may argue against organ donation for the reason that it falls against the morals of their religion. For example, in the Jewish faith, bodies should not be desecrated before burial, but in principle, Judaism sanctions and encourages organ donation in order to save lives. Major leaders have said transplantation does not desecrate a body or show a lack of respect for the dead, and any delay in burial to facilitate organ donation is respectful to the descendant. In fact, most major religions, including Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, and Buddhism, view organ donation as an act of charity. The Christian Church encourages organ and tissue donations, stating that they are for God's glory and for sharing God's love. Based on the principle and foregoing attributes of a Muslim, the majority of Islamic legal scholars have concluded that transplantation of organs as a treatment for otherwise lethal end-stage organ failure is a good thing. And the president and founder of the Buddhist Temple of Chicago said, "We honor those people who donate their bodies and organs to the advancement of medical science and to saving lives."
While you may support organ donation at this point, you may still have some hesitations about the process. For example, there's lots of myths about organ donation. I'll go over some of them here. First off, I have a medical condition, so I can't be a donor. In fact, anyone, regardless of age or medical history, can sign up to be a donor. The transplant team will determine at an individual's time of death whether donation is possible. Another myth, if they see I'm a donor at the hospital, they won't try to save my life. In fact, when you're sick and injured and admitted to a hospital, the one and only priority is to save your life, period. Donation doesn't become a possibility until after all life-saving methods have failed. Myth. Rich or famous people on the waiting list get organs faster. Fact. A national computer system matches donated organs to recipients. The factors used in matching include blood type, time spent waiting, and other important medical information. How the sick person is in geographical location. Race, income, and celebrity status are never considered. Myth. My family won't be able to have an open casket funeral if I'm a donor. In fact, an open casket funeral is usually possible for an organ, eye, or tissue donor. Through the entire donation process, the body is treated with care, respect, and dignity. Someone could take my organs and sell them. Federal law prohibits selling organs in the U.S. Violators can be punished with prison sentences and fines. And the final myth is that if you're in a coma, they can take your organs while you're still alive. In truth, the majority of deceased organ donors are patients who have declared brain dead. Brain death is not the same as a coma. People can recover from comas, but not from brain death. Brain death is the final straw of life. We hope you can now see that organ donations should be made mandatory and enforced by the U.S. government. The process would be beneficial and not at all harmful or desecrating to the donor's body.